Hey, what is going on, crypto people? So Hester Peirce has some thoughts on the SEC's action against LBRY. Remember that platform that went under, had to close their doors? She finally shares her thoughts. I think Hester Peirce is in a very, very vicarious predicament. I think she's in a really bad situation. She's being outnumbered and outvoted on essentially everything. Someone has sacrificed their country for personal profits over at the SEC. And let me remind you that this is not the SEC. This is the United States government. We can't forget that. We can no longer afford to be naive about the US government and the three-letter alphabet groups. We have to recognize what's really going on, decide to become a patriot and fight this, and not just accept things for just the way they are. It's gone too far. She's in a bad spot. Ask Stephen Nerioff. She's in a really, really bad spot. She wasn't an early ETH investor. people in the comments of her thread are like, yeah, you're just talking. Yeah, you're just writing letters. She's not in Stephen Nerioff's position. Ask Stephen what they did to that dude. He's telling you the PG versions. He's sharing with you the PG versions. I promise you have no clue what governments are capable of doing. You have no clue. You got to be willing to tell the truth. People need to be able to hear the freaking truth. And the bottom line is she's not financially set to make noise. She's not. She's a government employee. She's not financially set to make moves and make noise. Stephen is. And he's only doing it because he's been gone through the ringer, and he has enough stuff on him. They can't do any future stuff to him. We got to wake up. Can't be naive. She's in a really, really bad spot. Really, really bad spot. And unless you've served or been in the government agencies, you have no clue what they'll do to you. No clue. She's in a bad spot. She's got to at least be financially set to be able to make some stuff, because she's gonna have to move from this gig to another. She's not finance. She's a regular employee. She's a regular employee, everyday person, man. So she's doing what she can with what she can. So Hester Peirce says here, some overdue thoughts on our case against LBRY. John Deaton reposted this, and this is what John had to say about this. It's fascinating stuff. Let me be less polite in my remarks. Any commissioner who voted to sue LBRY.com should be ashamed of themselves, LBRY, but not just the commissioners. SEC enforcement lawyers who threatened to bankrupt LBRY and Jeremy. Where does the SEC enforcement lawyers get that permission to do that? The U.S. government. SEC enforcement lawyers who threatened to bankrupt LBRY and Jeremy Kauffman during the investigative stage, like threats, big time, by running up defense costs and legal fees, are an absolute disgrace. The SEC conceded that most LBC token holders did not make an investment and only acquired the LBC as a utility token to access the platform, My client, excuse me, my client, Naomi Rockwell, says John Deaton, never purchased or sold a single LBC token. She didn't even meet the first Howey factor, let alone the other factors. Yet the SEC refused to provide no action letters or guidance, making it clear that the secondary market users were not subject to SEC jurisdiction. Again, I just want to point this out. We can paint it as the SEC. But this is the U.S. government and its overreach. I know everyone wants to think it's just Shangri-La. We live in the greatest spot ever and all of that stuff. But what I'm suggesting to you is we need more patriots to stand up and fight what's going on and grab this country back, because it has been taken over and it's been infiltrated by the enemy. So when asked by the judge, why wouldn't the SEC make it clear, since they acknowledge so many folks didn't own unregistered securities, why wouldn't the SEC make it clear? The judge asked them that. SEC lawyers stated, we don't do that. We don't provide clarity, in other words. But the real reason was because the SEC wanted to pursue its anti-crypto agenda, a total disgrace. So understand that they're getting these calls, they're getting the playbook from the powers that be, who don't want you and I. You gotta understand what the digital asset space represents. It represents an opportunity for you and I to choose our own money and our own fiscal and monetary policy, and to store that money wherever we want to. You understand? That's what the digital asset space represents. And they don't want that. It's a rude awakening when you realize that your government doesn't want you to win. What else would they do if you're good? I say it all the time. What else would they do if you are good? What would they have to do? Stuart Alirati says, thank you, Commissioner. When you see injustices like this continue in non-fraud cases, while consumers wait for recourse from actual frauds, like Sam Bankman-Fried, perhaps it's time to let ordinary rules of protocol go by the wayside and speak out louder and sooner. And he did that with a question mark, right? Because he understands, because he's an attorney and he's been an attorney. He's dealt with the bullies. He's dealt with U.S. entities and three-letter alphabet groups. He understands, right? He lives in spaces and places that you have not been in, have not dealt with, have not seen. You don't know the real. You know, I'm sorry to put it to you like that, but you don't know the real, bro. You think you know. You don't know. So perhaps even with an amicus brief, right? These are question marks. He's saying perhaps even with an amicus brief, perhaps it's time to, walk away from the ordinary rules of protocol and speak out louder and sooner. He's doing a question marks, right? Because he understands the god-awful position that she is in. It's brutal, the position that she is in, right? And people here are making these comments that they don't understand. I can't be mad at them because they don't understand, bro. Like they think they know, they have no clue. You have no clue. If you haven't served and seen the nastiness, or if you haven't been an employee at a high level with secret and top secret clearances, you have no clue, bro. You don't know what's going on. And it's designed that way because they think you can't handle the truth. So in the end, yeah, she's in a real bad spot. My heart goes out to her because I know she's in a bad spot. She is in a bad spot, right? She's in a bad spot. And perhaps maybe if she was financially well off and not having to seek another gig after this gig, right, then maybe she would be able to speak up a little bit more, but she's just not. So interesting stuff. I just want to shoot that quick video and say to you guys, give her a break. You don't know what you don't know, bro. Like, so give Hester some grace, if you will. And I just pray that, she can get herself in a situation where she's in a position where she can speak out, because they will try to bankrupt you. They will try to make sure you have no livelihood going forward. This is not the movies, bro. They will do that to her. I promise you. They will. All right, guys, look, this wraps up your XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. I hope that it has been of value to you. If it has, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you've been hanging out watching the Crypto Siege, and if you enjoyed those hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end the video with a couple of things. Number one, old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would encourage each and every one of you to live permissionless. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.